Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are in my kitchen for my very first food video. So I'm going to make the long-awaited recipe if you follow me on Instagram, but probably if you're just one of my friends who's messaged me like, girl. I'm going to make my recipe for ground tofu, which I use for tacos, nachos, things like that. I've actually recently used this recipe for the ground meat in chili and the ground meat in spaghetti. So once you learn this recipe, you can use it for anything that you like that may require ground beef or ground turkey. So what you will need: 1 brick of firm or extra firm tofu. Make sure you are getting firm or extra firm. Oil of your choice. Today I have avocado oil, I've used grapeseed, I've used olive oil. You're gonna need a sheet pan. This is a big one. You could use one even half this size. A medium-sized mixing bowl, a spoon that you want to call a tablespoon. I don't know what a tablespoon is. A bigger of the spoons you own. Today I'm probably not even going to use tablespoons. I'm going to say it as I'm like seasoning and giving you instructions, but I'm just going to feel the vibes as I go. One of the ingredients that absolutely should not be skipped is soy sauce. It is the secret ingredient. I don't know how, I don't know why. When I first started making this recipe, I thought the soy sauce was just like for color and salt content, but I think it's also just to give it like a realness, you know? I've done it without. It's edible, it's good without, but the soy sauce really kind of makes it. For the amount in this recipe though, you could probably use like three soy sauce packets from like Chinese food takeout or whatever you have on hand. You don't need to buy a whole bottle. And seasonings, you would use your seasoning of choice for like any ground beef or ground turkey if you season it on your own at home. You can actually use taco packet seasoning. I have tried this now a billion times. I wanted to make sure that I tried out this recipe all the ways that it can be tried out. I do it different every single time, honestly. But I have used taco seasoning packets like 2 or 3 of those times, and totally fine. If not, if you want to season it on your own, we're going to use chili powder, paprika. Cumin is a necessity if you're doing anything Mexican, Tex-Mex, anything. Cumin. Onion powder, garlic powder, my favorite. I think we have like 3 of these in my cabinet. Me and my sister are cuckoo. Pepper and salt, obviously. Is there anything I'm missing on that? No? Yeah, that sounds right. And then the final ingredient is going to be your favorite salsa. This is one of my favorites from Walmart. It's just like Sam's Choice Salsa Verde. And today actually I think I'm going to be mixing 2 of my favorites. This is a like tomato based salsa from Frontera, the jalapeno cilantro. It's so good. Now, you will say to yourself after making this recipe, no, I don't want to use my favorite salsa in the meat. I want to put my favorite salsa on top of the taco or the nachos when everything's said and done. So I'm gonna use like my sort of favorite salsa. If you're anything like me and you have multiple salsas in your fridge, you'll be like, I'm gonna use that one that's like sort of running low that I haven't used in a while, that I don't even so much like that much. It's just whatever, it's just salsa. Use your favorite salsa. It is a huge part of the success of the dish. It's a huge part of incorporating flavor in the end, which you will see. Let's get started. So you are going to find your groove with this thing as you get more comfortable, as with any recipe. Right now I'm just cutting into the tofu. And I still have not mastered the art of like just peeling it open like a pudding cup or something. So I do cut it open. And when you cut it open, just be wary because it is just a big ball of soy floating in liquid. So you probably want to open it over your sink, which I am about to go do. Alright, so this is what the soy looks like after you've opened it. It is literally just a big brick of nothing. And this is optional, I am going to go ahead, excuse my full-blown pajamas. I was just like, I need to wake up, put on a face, and make this video before I put it off any longer. I like to open up the tofu first thing and kind of let it sit and air out, because a big element of the recipe is dehydrating the tofu. It becomes very, very moist. So I'll just sit it on a paper towel like this while we prepare our spice ingredients. So I'm just gonna set it to the side. As you season the tofu or as you prepare the spices for the tofu, do note that the tofu does not have any natural flavor to give you like meat would. So you are flavoring something from like below 0 up. So remember that as you do it. Do not be shy, but also remember that later in the recipe you can add stuff if needed. So soy sauce. I'm gonna keep this little thing on. I'd say probably like 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, but I'm just gonna give it like a few good pumps, and I'll show you what that looks like in the end. A few good pumps. So that's nothing. Like I shook it a bunch of times, but like that's, oh gosh. Well, I guess that is a little something. So that's actually about a tablespoon. So I'm gonna go for it again and get in the 2 tablespoons. Like I said, the soy sauce is actually for coloring, I do believe, but it adds like that umami thing that people on Food Network talk about. I'm gonna go for a tablespoon of oil. And honestly, when I think of tablespoons, I just like look at what I'm putting the oil on or in, and I say, does that look like a spoon-shaped circle of whatever that was? And then we stop. Boom, we in it. Okay, so we have our soy sauce and our oil down. I'm gonna put some paprika. I would say probably a tablespoon of paprika. And chili powder. I think we all know by now that these, I'm not gonna say they don't taste like nothing, because that's just not true. But they are really good like base flavors for things, which is good because, as I've said already, tofu ain't got no base flavor. So we're gonna go with a tablespoon of chili powder as well. And now we've kind of like set the tone, right? Cumin, go crazy. I would even say about 2 tablespoons of cumin. Of course, my shaker's being a hater. Here we go. We caught a groove. 2 tablespoons of cumin. Bam, 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 bam. We have garlic powder here. Say a tablespoon and a half of garlic powder, because you can never get enough garlic. Yeah, I think this is gonna be my best work yet. I feel it. About a tablespoon of onion powder. Pepper, don't go crazy, just like a few little zhuzhes of pepper, half a tablespoon, a teaspoon. Can you tell I don't know anything about these measurements? Now salt. Y'all, it's okay. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's gonna be quite a bit of salt, quite a bit more than you'd like probably. But I'd say at least a tablespoon of salt, and you're probably gonna need more. So just get with that fact. You're probably gonna need more. All right, so I'm mixing up our little paste now. And we're all set with the seasoning. And the paste kind of has a dark red color like that. And we are all set to add our tofu. I like to use my hands. I think it's better on this portion if you use your hands. You can break it up with a spoon. But all we're doing now is kind of crumbling the tofu into our mixture. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Don't be too caught up on how big the pieces are, because we are going to obviously stir the seasoning mixture. And then this whole thing gets stirred again as it's cooking. So don't be weary about like getting the pieces super small or whatever. Obviously pieces like this aren't what we're going for. That's a little bit big, so I'm gonna break that down. But the initial breakdown of the tofu into the seasoning mixture doesn't have to be like award-winning. Just get it in the bowl, get it to about medium small chunks, and you will get tofu all over your hand in this portion, and that's okay, because guess what, it's not raw meat. I can stick my hands right in my mouth right now and it'll be all good. Now we have our tofu in the bowl, and we're just gonna mix in the seasoning. Just keep mixing till all the tofu has that coloring. It's kind of good because the tofu is like this stark white, and so you can tell really easily, you know, if it's getting all the coating of the seasoning and all that. If it turns kind of any shade of brown. And if you have some pieces that are like still white, you can just kind of put some, you see how I'm breaking it up as I stir it. So the breaking up of the tofu is not that big a deal. And I'm repeating that because I think when I first tried this recipe, I was really like focused on getting it to this certain like ground beefy size, but it breaks up as you go. Now we're gonna have another hands-on moment because I'm just gonna rub the oil on the pan with my hands, basically. So I'm gonna do a tablespoon here. As I said, I just kind of look at the circle being created by whatever I'm pouring on there. And if it looks like a spoon, it's a tablespoon. So we have our spoon-sized amount here, and we do want to kind of move it around because in the cooking process, we are going to kind of just be stirring and stirring while, well, I still stir while it's in the oven. You can absolutely take it out of the oven, but you all know I be cutting corners. So I kind of just like stir at it while it's in the oven. So you want to like grease all sides so that you can have that freedom. So that's that. This recipe is so simple. I'm about to pop this in the oven. We are gonna cook it in the oven on, oh my God. Be preheating your oven the entire time you're talking to your camera. How about that? Preheat your oven to 375. So I've taken the ground tofu out of the oven after 20 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and kind of stir and toss. As you see, the top side is browning, but the underneath is still a little bit of a lighter brown. And so we would, in a perfect world, like for all of it to get that nice brown color. Okay, so while the ground tofu was cooking, the lighting in my kitchen got all shady. I remembered that I don't have any like work shirts clean. Whoops. So I am washing clothes now. This is fine. This is fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab the ground turkey out of the oven. And this, is it focused? Oh, is what she looks like. I actually decided I want an onion in there, like really last minute. I really like raw onions, so it's whatever. But I did decide last minute that I wanted to add onion and cilantro in. So I'm gonna add the cilantro in a second. If you do decide to use foil, you can just pick it up from the pan just like this. Science. Aluminum apparently doesn't conduct heat, because this is fresh out of the oven, and you know, science. And so we're stirring in our cilantro. It is at this point that I could taste this. I could have tasted it at any point, because it's not raw meat, like I said earlier, but yeah, I guess we could see where we're at. She's cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start off with 3 heaping tablespoons of the one salsa, because I told you I think I want to use 2 different salsas. So I'm like, here's what that looks like. Quite a bit. And then you taste the go. That's good. I'm gonna use 1 more of this salsa, and then I'm gonna probably use 2 of the red. So 1 more tablespoon of the salsa verde. So that's 4. So like 6 big ol' tablespoons. So probably maybe even like, no, that's probably a 4th cup. So this is the red Frontera salsa, and I'm just gonna do 1.5. See where we're at flavor wise, because I did really like the flavor I had going on with that green. Just want to see what the mix will get me. It's good. I am gonna add a little salt. Oh, I have a little spice in it from the salsa. I'm adding a little salt. It's probably 2 shakes. Ooh, I said 2 and did 1. A little salt, and I'm gonna add that lime. And we're gonna do 1 whole quarter of lime juice. I'm excited that I chose to record this, because this is honestly the best batch I've made since I first started making this. Honestly, this is as good as probably my first, second time around, and then the 3rd time I started making stuff up and thinking I knew better. So yeah, I'm gonna be civilized and taste it with a spoon. I'm the only one eating this, so that's why I'm dipping. Oh yeah, it's delicious. Wow, it's so good. And I notice it has like a juicy quality and the texture is on point. Inside a taco or nachos, it's like, can't tell the difference. I know some people say that. I mean, as you can see, I'm gonna get off camera before I eat this whole thing. If you try it, let me know. If you have any secrets, let me know. If there's a way that you like to do it, please comment down below. And look out on my channel for more food, more pescatarian, full days of eating, more workouts, more travel, more everything, more life, more life. I hope my washer hasn't sounded ridiculous this whole time. And I know the focus has been weird, but we're leaving. Okay, bye.